Welcome. Episode 30. This is the next logical conclusion of your guitar roadmap part 1, which was our last video, number 29, episode 29. Number 30 is part 2. Now this one's for like the advanced people, like how do I teach advanced people? What do I teach advanced people? What's going on with all that? Okay. Setting goals, going back to what we were talking about with in episode 29, that you kind of want to have some sort of headspace of what kind of goals and things to shoot for and all that kind of stuff. If what you want to do is get better on your instrument. So this is for the advanced people in those goal setting. So this is going to be called Your Guitar Roadmap Part 2. And this basically, what we're going to learn today is my thoughts on what somebody who's already kind of maybe already been able to play guitars, maybe playing in bands, maybe killing it in a blues band, killing it in whatever, I don't know, a metal band, killing it in whatever kind of bands they're in, and they find themselves that they have plateaued, and they can do a certain amount of improv, they can play songs, play all the songs they want to learn, but still they've gotten to a point where everything is kind of leveled off. That is how do we get from intermediate to advanced? And now that's what we're going to talk about today. So the goals for the advanced player, the big switch is going to be that we're going to, for my advanced students, we embrace all kinds of music, and we're going to learn from all kinds of music. Anything that we can take from anything is going to be, I find myself, when I learn new styles of music and new sounds and new rhythms, like every style of music has a different way of approaching rhythm. Do you ever think about that? They may have a different way of treating a melody. Once you get used to thinking in these terms, and I can treat a melody, I can do that with a melody. I can do something other than the pentatonic scale. All right. I can do something other than the basic arpeggio over top of an E minor 7 chord. Okay. Once you think about these things, taking in outside information from all different kinds of styles. So when I say different kinds of styles, you might be starting off as a rock guitar player, a pop guitar player. Some of the best guitar players of like the last maybe 50, 100 years were studio players. What made studio players so great was their ability to adapt to any musical situation. These were more than just jazz guitar players, because what happens with jazz guitar players, when they think in terms, I'm going to be a jazz player, is they just try to create and get good at playing one sound. And that's okay. That is, if that brings them joy, then that's a lifetime. That's their pursuit. Just as I have many students that are, as a metal band, can completely nail that genre. Okay? But what I'm here to offer is, how do we expound on this? The guys that were in the studios that understood the jazz concepts, but also understood Jimi Hendrix, that also understood James Brown, that also understood a little bit of George Benson, all right? Or Phil Upchurch, who was Benson's rhythm guitar player for so many years. So these, James Burton, Chet Atkins. So the secret to making guitar an infinite game, where you're going to be growing and growing and growing until you can't think anymore, is drawing from a variety of different sources. You may be able to max out metal. Maybe I can create great guitar solos and great riffs and stuff like that. And maybe speed is great. all that kind of stuff, and I can know how to do this and that. And then there may be a top to that if you don't take into account that some of the best metal guitar players, I'm thinking of Marty Friedman, I'm thinking of, if you want to count, I don't want to count Guthrie Govan as a metal guitar player, because he's across the board the kind of guitar player that I think of as infinite. That creating is an infinite thing. So we're borrowing from, if we borrow from everything, then that means we have a whole different pool of information, that it doesn't just have to be a power chord that we study or a riff that we study. It can be a groove. It can be chords like this is the dominant seventh chord. I don't know. Maybe somebody thinks that's a jazz chord. So music can be infinite. You can infinitely grow, and infinitely grow. Not everyone wants to infinitely grow. Okay, but the opportunity is there. So what, with each new style of music that you take on, you're learning rhythms that are unique to that style, maybe concepts that are unique to that style, improvisational concepts, maybe riffs that are unique to that style, styles of riffs that are unique, styles of arranging that are unique, sounds that come across you, and those are musical experiences. The best advice I ever got was from a guy by the name of Chuck Rainey, and he didn't say it right to me, but he says, experience everything you can in as many different styles as you can. That's the best preparation. So with that said, I have a name for my approach. Okay, I have a name for my approach because I don't fit squarely into anybody's camp. I'm not strictly a jazz guy that thinks that we should just be making jazz sounds all day long. I'm not the guy that to go to strictly in the blues camp where we go to the blues open mic and everybody sounds like Stevie Ray. I'm not that guy either. I'm not the metal guy that only thinks metal is good. Okay, music elitism is not. I'm kind of not there with that, because I know every time I take in new musical ideas and new musical concepts, you realize how infinite things are, and it's like nothing. It is a powerful thing if you can be exposed to lots and lots of music. So my approach I call boom pop. So what boom pop is, it is first a rhythm-centered instrument. So I think of rhythm as the conduit that lets all the things together. Sure, we have licks, we have melodies, we have chord playing, and we have rhythm kind of styles, and we have arranging kind of styles. But it all, without the rhythm, it would just be loose notes that have no organization. So the rhythm, we really care a lot about the rhythm, and rhythm from style to style, and if we can get a lot from that. So the other thing is, we're borrowing, as I said, in the style of lots of studio players. They learn from every style, like Tommy Tedesco, Steve Lukather. I'm thinking of what Larry Carlton. Larry Carlton, he wasn't Joe Pass. He did not punish himself by not being Joe Pass, but just taking a little bit of that Joe Pass and Johnny Smith influence and then applying it to maybe some of his blues influences, gave him a completely unique approach. So we borrow from all styles of music. We try, in as much as possible, not to be that musical elitism that a lot of the styles, probably most of the styles, country guys just like country, metal guys, all I want to do is play metal. Okay, that's great. You do your thing. Boom pop guys, we're gonna take from all of it. Okay, so we value improvised music. Improvisation is not just a parlor trick. Improvisation is a vital skill. It is a life skill. It is a survival skill for us. It allows us to adapt to musical situations that are not note for note. We can get into we can get our parts together really quick because we have this improvisational skill about us. Now, when I say improvisational skill, I'm not necessarily just talking about jazz. The boom pop students study jazz. I'm talking about all improvised music. Now, nobody experiences all of it, but every time we learn something new from whatever source, it could be African music. It could be whatever world music of various sorts. It could be blues. It could be whatever it is. Whatever improvised form that can change your musical DNA, just puts another thing into your head. So we value improvised music, not just one style of improvised music. We take a look at lots of different styles and lots of different approaches. And sometimes the right approach is to wail on a pentatonic. Okay, so sometimes, like, jazz guys are like, well, I never want to do that. It's like, well, yeah, kind of. Sometimes you do. It's the right thing to do. So personal style is your unique style that emerges when the music you embrace, you take in these styles and these things, you embrace, and then you blend these ideas, concepts, and sounds, and then you blend them in your own way. People talk about, how do I be original? Being original, if you allow it, it is the easiest thing in the world. It's hard not to be original. Okay. In other words, take in lots of things, mix it up. You're original, period. What you're gonna get from John Coltrane is going to be different than what somebody else. What you're going to get from Dilla is going to be different than somebody else. Okay, so the whole idea here is the learning of the guitar can be, if you want to, I don't want to think of it as a game, but it is an infinite game. It is an infinite pursuit that we can pursue and we can nurture and we can get better at throughout life. Okay, it doesn't stop just because we are playing in a band. Our learning doesn't stop just because we have 40 songs down and all those plateaus that you have. That's because all your favorite players that have gone beyond those plateaus, it's because they've taken on outside information. All right. So again, boom pop, the importance of rhythm. Rhythm is the center of everything. No musical elitism, improvisation. We study all forms of improvisation. Learning songs, we can learn songs. We learn riffs. We love riffs. We love that world music, whatever. Okay, balancing everything, your practice time, with fun, with songs, with concepts, with mechanics and discipline. Sometimes if you hate discipline, you're only going to play the same things that you've always played over and over again, because you're not going to go back to the learner thing that I'm learning this for the first time, and it stinks. Sometimes you stink when you first start learning something new. Let's be honest. Anyway, boom pop, embrace the journey. Okay, keep exploring, and more importantly, you got to have fun with this and grow with it. And it's like, music is beautiful because that's what it allows you to do. You can grow throughout life. All right. My name is Rod. Boomer Guitar Sessions, episode 30, in the house. We're done. I appreciate you. I thank you. And until next time, I'll see you later. Hi, this is Rod from Boomer Guitar Sessions. I personally wanted to thank you for being part of our community. If you like what we're doing here and you want to see more of it, please hit the like, subscribe, and share. And this helps me spread my musical messages to all over the world. Thank you. I appreciate you. And always remember, you can do this.